So you've decided to dip your toes into the waters of jailbreaking. And you want to know, is jailbreaking bad? If I jailbreak my console or mobile device, does that make me a pirate? Sailing the seas of digital debauchery only to watch your ship sink. Because super secret government agents have been waiting for you to jailbreak your console, so they can scoop you up right out of your very home and send you off to the slammer to spend all of the rest of your days behind bars? To answer this question, we've got to look at this through the right set of lenses. You see, fundamentally, jailbreaking has nothing to do with piracy, and it has everything to do with preservation of hardware and upgrading to maximize performance. Let's look at some of the many ways that this gets done. Have you considered how you would play your disc-based games if your optical drive on your console broke? Oh sure, as long as it's working you can continue to play. But what happens if that disk drive breaks? Unless you're prepared to make proprietary and sometimes challenging repairs to the optical drive, it's game over. That's why preserving optical drives on classic consoles is of paramount importance. And with many consoles, once they're jailbroken, you can dump your disc collection directly to its internal storage or even external storage. Then you can play the games directly off your storage media, put your disc back in the clamshells, and save years worth of wear on those precious optical drives. But what if your console doesn't have internal storage like this PlayStation 2 Fat model? No problem. You can insert a hard drive into it using an adapter, but you can only dump your game discs to that hard drive and play them from the hard drive using a tool like FreeMcBoot to jailbreak your PlayStation 2. Once you have your PlayStation 2 jailbroken, you can use a tool like the HDL Game Installer to install your disc directly to the internal hard drive you've set up for your PlayStation 2. And as a side note here, since your discs are being dumped to the hard drive from start to finish, it reduces wear on the drive because it doesn't have to seek and scan for various parts of the drive. It can just take the whole disk in one straight shot. Another option you might pursue when you're looking to do jailbreaking and upgrading is to go from a standard hard drive to a solid-state drive. In this instance, the PlayStation 4 Pro sees massive decreases in load times. But you'll only see the benefits from this from jailbreaking the PlayStation 4 console so that you can dump the disc directly to the solid-state drive and play them off the solid-state drive moving forward. At that point, the solid-state drive is significantly faster at loading the games than the Blu-ray drive itself is from the discs. And while it doesn't increase your frames per second in-game, it absolutely decreases the loading time in seconds to get your favorite game up and running. Speaking of storage, have you seen the prices on Vita memory cards lately? Look at these 64GB cards on eBay. Outlandishly expensive. You can use modern microSD cards with your PlayStation Vita with just a simple, inexpensive adapter. Then you can buy the same size microSD card for about 1/10 of the price. But once again, you can't take advantage of this technology unless you jailbreak your PlayStation Vita first. Then you can significantly expand your storage for your Vita on the cheap. And about that PlayStation Vita, did you know that it has a hidden superpower? It can output its video directly through USB. Then you can use your computer to capture your Vita's video output. You can download software like OBS Studio, connect your Vita over USB, and tell OBS Studio that it's a webcam. Then you can save your greatest PlayStation Vita gaming moments directly on your computer. But it only works if you jailbreak your Vita first. Not to be outdone, the new Nintendo 2DS and 3DS systems can do the same thing, except they do it wirelessly. With nothing more than a single app installed on your 2DS or 3DS system and an app installed on your PC or Mac, you can wirelessly stream your gameplay directly over to your computer for capture. But once again, you guessed it, it's gotta be jailbroken first for the process to work. The CPU and graphics chips on modern console motherboards generate quite a bit of heat. They have thermal paste between them and the heat sinks in order to help dissipate this heat. But as they age, the thermal paste dries up and it becomes ineffective. This can lead to premature overheating and failure of consoles. Ever heard of the red ring of death? Trouble is, most consoles go along happy-go-lucky, never telling their owners when they're overheating until it's too late. But most jailbroken systems can solve this problem by letting you monitor the CPU and GPU temperature by installing basic applications in order to check these before it becomes too late and system damage occurs. If you've ever wanted to play games from a different region, say Japanese games in the United States or games released in the USA and Japan, you know that that's not always possible because consoles are often region locked. This means you can play the games just fine in their native region, but when you go to play them in a different region, everything just falls apart. Fortunately, once a system is jailbroken, removing these region locks is generally a very simple process. Just load up the necessary software, you can remove the region locks and start playing the games that you imported on your favorite systems. What if you just wanted to speed up the CPU and GPU on your system to maximize performance? Jailbreaking can do that too. For example, on the PlayStation Vita, with just a single app, you can supercharge your CPU and GPU performance, leading to higher speed performance in both of these areas for games which place taxing demands on the system. So in the end analysis, is jailbreaking bad? Is it the sort of thing that you deserve to be locked up and shackled and forced to be hung from the gallows like a pirate? Absolutely not. You can safely sail these seas knowing that jailbreaking is legal in nearly every country in the world. Jailbreaking can level up your consoles and give you incredible power. Just remember the words that Uncle Ben told Peter Parker all those years ago.
Remember, with great power comes great responsibility.
Use your powers wisely and you'll breathe new life into your consoles for the decades to come. For a deeper dive into all of this, check out this video here, shown on screen in the desktop browsing experience and linked in the pinned comment and description below.